Hello everybody. Happy Women's Day to all datamaticians across the globe. So while the day is about women, but my wishes are for everyone, because if we have to make this a gender equal, empowered world, then everybody has to come together to make it happen. So I cherish being a woman, but I equally cherish all the men in my life. My father, my husband, my brothers, my friends, colleagues, associates, acquaintances, everybody, because it is the contribution and involvement of all that has led my life to be a complete one. So today I am going to talk about something which is actually very universal, very everyday affair, known to all, but possibly I am taking a moment to reflect on it, to reinforce what we already know. The sense of purpose, the sense of feeling complete, the sense of being happy, all of these are extremely important for us. So on that note, let me share something. So AICTE, which is All India Council for Technical Education, has recently sponsored a FDP, Faculty Development Program, on the subject of happiness. So this happened at Amity University Center of Happiness, and doesn't it sound unusual, a FDP on happiness, and that too by the Board of Technical Education? So I think considering what's going on about the issues around mental health, well-being, happiness is a very, very important term for us to remember. Those of you who have heard me speak in the Voice of Employee calls around socially distanced yet mentally connected would know how much I have harped on the alignment of the 4 quadrants of life, which are physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So that alignment is important to bring about renewed energy. And what do we do with that energy? We can do things which actually make us feel happy. So if you remember the performance pulse, we are actually oscillatory human beings in an oscillatory universe. Physical renewal. It's all about making a move, shifting postures, moving around if you're sitting, eating on time, right nutrition, right kind of diet, right kind of exercise, all of it put together, and breaks need to be taken after every 90 minutes. Remember, that does give you that extra energy. It's all about the difference between life being that of a sprinter versus that of a marathoner. A sprinter would do those quick runs full of energy, full of vigor, but after that there is a break to that pace. A marathoner would keep running and at the end of long runs go for renewals. So we have to keep in mind, giving our pressures at home, in the corporate world, all those things, all those multitasking that we keep doing, it's important to take a break at times, do that self-renewal, and again move on as we would do normally. The second aspect, which is the emotional well-being aspect. Emotional well-being is all about appreciation, feeling good about what you do. Do we pause often? Do we pause enough to appreciate what others are doing for us? To appreciate the fact that we are living a good life more often than not? Of course, we have the coronavirus, we have this pandemic staring at us, we are worried about vaccination, so many other things, right? But then if we take a pause to be grateful about what we have, not what we want to have, but what we have today, that gratitude actually goes a long way. When it comes to mental focus, so mental focus is something which actually helps us to concentrate. It helps us to prioritize. And it's important because I think we are constantly living in a world of partial attention. For example, the day starts by thinking what is going to be there in the menu for breakfast, lunch, dinner, what all should I organize for home, what do I tell the cook, what do I tell the maid, how are things to be organized at home, how do I organize all these multiple meetings in office which are craving my attention, or my work, the work that I have on my plate. There are so many things which are needing our attention. We are juggling multiple balls in the air, but there is a need to focus on one. On the power of flexible focus, mental energy, I'll share 2 very important quotes which I'm sure will strike a chord. This is Linda Stone, Microsoft. We've stretched our attention bandwidth to upper limits. We think if technology can do it, so do we. With continuous partial attention, we keep the top level in focus and scan the periphery in case something more important emerges. To be busy and connected is to feel alive. But what that leaves us with is we are overstimulated, overwhelmed, and unfulfilled. One more. This is Herbert Simon, 1978 Nobel Prize winner in economics. What information consumes is rather obvious. It consumes the attention of its recipients, but a wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. So the reason why I mentioned about these quotes is because it reinforces the important aspect of focus, which we at times tend to miss because we are constantly multitasking. I will now move on to the spiritual quadrant part. The spiritual quadrant part, which helps us to ponder, which helps us to think, what's the value that we are creating? What's the gap between the life that we are leading today and the life that we would ideally want to lead? That's the element of purpose. We should ponder at times to think about that purpose, to think about what we want to do for the bigger cause. Here I would talk about Austrian psychiatrist and philosopher Viktor Frankl. He was also a Holocaust survivor. He had mentioned about his experience in the Nazi concentration camps, and amidst all that torture, darkness, etc., he was able to find some ray of hope. The fact that he felt that this is not what my life is all about. I'm made for a bigger cause, and there is going to be some time when I will be out of all this mess and leading a different life. So typically the people who survived and the people who could not, one big difference was that meaning. He felt he had a meaning of his life, and that meaning led to much more mental resilience, and that mental resilience was actually able to overpower the physical torture that he sustained over there. So the spiritual aspect of our being is very, very important, which is why today I have harped so much on the aspect of purpose. We must also remember that we have this huge capacity of self-soothing. I read an article recently by Mumbai-based clinical psychologist Sonali Gupta. She is an author as well, and this article was there in Mint Lounge. And the very key takeaways from that was that while there is a lot of mess going on around, we know that life is not really a fair game, but we keep playing it all the time. We must remember that we have the power to self-soothe. There could be some very small techniques, very minor tricks of the trade. For example, going out for long walks, spending some time in solitude, spending some time with self, taking a dip in the pool, sometimes a warm bath, talking to someone who will listen to us without a judgment, or maybe doing paintings, using hand in creating something, in creating some form of art, listening to music, singing, dancing. All these small things, they have a lot of power to heal. Let me tell you, happiness is not so easy to attain because there is a forever conflict going on between the emotions which are for survival and the emotions that are for growth. So typically the survival emotions, all about fear, anger, anxiety, and the growth emotions, which is happiness, joy, contentment, satisfaction. So to be able to arise, or to be able to keep the negative emotions or the survival emotions at bay and focus on the positive emotions for a better life, that's what we have to keep trying to do. And that should be an attempt and endeavor forever. So Robert F. Kennedy had mentioned that you are happiest when you're making the maximum contribution. So that goes so true for all of us who are in corporates, because we are constantly trying to contribute there, trying to make a mark. We are also trying to manage our households, kids, the multiple relationships, the multiple constituencies that we cater to. So in all of this, we must remember the things that make us happy, which is manage our relationships, manage our family, be grateful for what we have, trying to cultivate new hobbies, new passions, stick to our passions, We tend to forget all of that once we get into the busy lives of livelihood and of other anxieties that automatically become a part of life. It's important to be grateful for what we have. It's important to identify the unique calling. It's important to identify what we like doing and what is it that we are good at. So the thought that I want to leave you with is there is an immense power and capability in all of us superwomen, to make a lot of meaning out of our lives. We must remember that there could be temporary setbacks in everybody's lives, but we have the capability to turn it in our favor and emerge victorious at the end. That's very much possible. So the power to self-soothe is something that we shouldn't ever forget. We must exercise that from time to time. And also remember, there are things that give us temporary bliss. Temporary bliss is not equal to happiness. We are looking for real sustained happiness by following some of the things that I mentioned today, and there could be a lot more which perhaps you are practicing in your everyday lives. And purpose. Please go and have a purposeful life. Thank you.